I'm gonna start this.
Okay.
When's the last time the first time you saw Danny?
You know, I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
It was in high school. I know
Okay.
that. But I don't, he at that time was going with Ethel May Clutter.
You
Ethel
remember
May
it?
Johnson.
You remember it?
Oh yeah, I remember it very
Wow.
well. Because he was dating her and I was dating another boy and we would double date.
Oh.
And I don't know how it happened, but one time I ended up with his house key. I evidently went to the car to get something, and his house key was on there. But how he ever started the car, I'll never know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I had those keys. Well, he had taken me home. Then he took the fellow that I was dating. Then he took Ethel home. And he got home. He didn't have a key to get in.
Oh, no.
And he remembered it. So he came back to my house and got the key. Well, then that was...
maybe that... Yeah. Anyway.
That was, I'm not sure, I think about maybe the junior year in high school.
Okay.
My junior year.
Okay.
He was a sophomore, I was a junior.
Okay.
And we still double dated a lot, but we'd go through, he'd take me home, then the guy I dated, then Effie,
Okay.
then he'd come back to my house.
Oh, good darn.
That was how we first started going together.
Yeah.
Then finally, he and Effie broke up, and we started.
Okay. What was the first time you saw Hazel?
I wouldn't have the foggiest idea on when I first met
The family.
any of the rest of the
Yeah.
family. I wouldn't have any idea. Probably quite a while later. And like I say, I don't remember. It was sometime during the school year, so it was probably in that summer
Okay.
after I had first met him.
So this is 42?
Yeah. Yeah, being 42. But we always used to go to a lot of picnics. We'd go over to Turkey Run
Yeah.
in Indiana.
See, there it is again. Turkey Run.
Uh-huh.
Everybody, I guess everybody went there.
Oh, everybody went to Turkey Run.
Yeah.
They had...
They got all wet.
I'm
My
not,
dad and mom got wet.
I'm not sure whether they had a swimming pool there or
No,
not.
it's a creek.
Well, that could
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
But they had horses, and they had all kinds of picnic table and playground equipment,
Okay.
and you know, it was fixed up
Yeah.
real nice. It was the nicest place around that area.
Did you ever play horseshoes?
No, Dan did a lot. He liked to. He had a horseshoe back of the apartments over there on 32nd Street. Yeah, he
I
loved.
don't remember that.
Him and Jack both
Yeah.
loved to
And
pitch
Dad, too.
horseshoe.
Because they had horses in the backyard.
Yeah.
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 40 feet, I remember
Jack,
that.
Jack was real good at pitching horseshoes.
No, be darned. Huh.
Would you believe that one day last week I got some mail addressed here to Esther Galeener?
I'll be darned.
Well, she never
And
lived
she
here.
never ever lived here. She lived over at the apartment,
Oh.
or over on
Tell
Paisano.
your mom about Joyce and the Lutheran Church.
Oh, she knows about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that Ron Harmon.
Oh, was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pastor.
I
Taught
think
school.
Joyce has never known that, so you gotta call her and say, hey, I got some news.
I don't know if I told Joyce Ann about
Him being
Ron
there.
Harmon teaching school
He
there
was,
on
he
Main
was
Street.
the principal, wasn't he?
He was principal at the kids' school, but he just was a teacher there on Main Street
In Danville.
and on Denver.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, now Joyce and Bill live 2 blocks from here, from my house.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it,
So I use my cart and I come over and get some iced tea and go in the backyard and hibernate for a while.
well, you know, now Laurie used to call me occasionally.
Yeah.
In fact, when Jenny died, she called me before she died, but
Yeah.
when she was real sick. She called me quite often to report how Jenny was
Yeah.
doing and all. And
Was it Lori or Bruce?
no, Laurie. Well, both of them called. And I don't know, have no idea what happened after Jenny died.
Yeah.
But something happened amongst the 4 kids.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause they don't speak to each other.
No,
At
have no contact, no nothing.
And Gary's got the house.
Yeah, he was still living in the
Yeah.
house.
Well, he bought it. He's
He
the
bought
owner
from
now.
the other
Yeah,
2
yeah.
or 3.
Uh-huh.
But here, oh, I don't know how long ago it's been, a couple of months maybe. I called Lori. Nobody was home. I got the answering machine and I left word. I said, just calling to check up on you, see how things are going. Give me a call when you can. And I
Yeah.
never ever heard anything more from her. But I know shortly, she had called me shortly after Jenny died, and she said that she had no contact with the other 3
Right.
kids. So,
It's strange.
and I got a notice when Caitlin, because she graduated from high
Yeah, I've
school
never
this
seen
year.
I've got 2 pictures.
Of
Clips.
Caitlin.
Yeah, but that's it.
Well, I
And
got
then
a
the-
notice from her on her graduation, and I sent her a check,
Oh,
and never got any.
thank you.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
Charlie, or nothing.
And you know, I don't recall, in the bank statements, I don't ever recall of whether that check ever cleared or not.
Oh. Maybe it
I
never showed up.
I better do that. Better check.
I haven't seen a check come through.
Yeah,
I
'cause
haven't seen it outstanding
graduation
either,
was
though.
4 months ago, 3 months ago.
You sure you sent her a check?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that check outstanding or come through.
Yes, I sent her a check.
Will be. Well, you know, we were reminiscing about the first time the Galeeners went to El Dorado and met the other Galeeners. You remember that?
No, I've never been to El Dorado and met any of
Oh,
them. No.
yeah. Well, I remember what Dad told me. He was 16 years old, and the whole family said, "Get in the car," except for your mother. And he goes, "Where are you going?" "Just get in the car." And he skedaddled all the way to El Dorado.
CW said this?
Yeah. And he said, we're going to El Dorado, and they thought we were going to see Aunt Maggie. No, we went to a campground, picnic campground, and they parked. And he goes, "What are we doing here?" He goes, get out of the car, I'll show you." And he said, "Now, this is your other family. This is your sister, this is your brother." He goes, "What?" It's the other family, the Galeeners. That her CW's first wife.
Yeah, his first
Yeah.
name.
He was cheating on his own brother. Yeah, yeah. And he caught him red-handed, opened the door, and he threw it. He got paid. It was I guess a Saturday or Friday, and he laid his check down and says, "I'm leaving. I'm never coming back, and see you later." And he split to Danville the same day. So, and then he started again in Danville as an insurance salesman.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I knew that years ago.
I never did really hear too much regarding the first family.
Mhm.
Lillian, I
Yeah.
met.
Yeah.
As she used
I met
to
her
come
too. Yeah,
up to Danville
yeah.
and see her
When we-
dad quite often.
Always, 3 times in a row, we went to Illinois, and we stopped at Lillian's and stayed overnight.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
got acquainted with him.
she
And his
owned-
husband, his husband, I liked him a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was real, her first husband.
And he is a storyteller.
Well, that was her first husband probably.
Yeah.
Fenton,
Yeah.
yeah, he passed away, and then she remarried.
Yeah.
But Lillian used to come to Danville, and she would
Yeah.
She would see and talk to all the kids. Dan and I went down and stayed at Lillian's one time after
that's
we
cool.
were married.
What about the rest of the
But none of the others did I ever meet.
bitter feelings, I bet you?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think I dreamed it. I think that somebody had said, I don't know so much about the other girl, but the boys, I think there were 5 in that
Yeah.
family too.
Right.
The 3 boys didn't want anything to do with the second family at all. Don't contact me. I don't want to know you. You're a total stranger to me, and
Yeah.
that's the way I want it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's sad.
But
Yeah.
Dan never really ever
Well,
never talked about it
Because-
at all.
my dad was 16 years old. How was your dad? 12 or 14
Uh,
or 10 or something? He was a little kid.
Well, let's see. It was Jack, Bill, Hazel, Chuck, and Dan. So there would have been Hazel and Chuck in between there.
Yeah.
Dan wouldn't have been too awfully old.
Yeah. I'll bet you.
So he might not have even remembered a
Yeah.
whole lot about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether CW ever talked about it to anybody. More than likely, if he did any talking at all, it was to Hazel.
Yeah. And
She might have known
Yeah,
a
but-
lot more about the other family than anybody else.
unfortunately, I can't talk to Hazel.
No.
And Lucille was the maid?
Yeah.
For his
Yeah.
his first family, yeah. She did the housework and everything at the house
Yeah.
for the first family.
So they all knew her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah.
all knew. And of course, I don't know for sure, but I imagine that there was a lot of bitterness
I'll bet.
there. I don't know, never ever heard. I just know that Dan never ever
Yeah.
talked about it at all.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't. Nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, yeah.
So CW was an insurance man in El Dorado?
I don't know.
No, he had a shoe repair shop.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He
Yeah,
had a
it's a
big,
culvert. It's a culvert, and he changed his whole life, and he had to have a job, and he started all brand new. In fact, I guess Dad said that he just disappeared. They didn't know where he went. He went to Danville, and he started again.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
someplace there is a picture of this store, the shop
Yeah.
that he had. I have seen that.
I'll bet you Joyce has got it. I'll bet you.
Well, I have no
Because
idea who had
Joyce
it.
has the best picture of any of the Galeeners, because CW's pictures, she's got them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I know I saw the shop, and either C.W. or his dad was standing out in there was a man of the family standing out in front of the shop. And I remember seeing that.
Wow.
And I can remember C.W. Sitting in the front room there on Virginia Avenue in Danville, polishing the leather on his shoes, you know. He really was working them over. He knew how to
You
take
know how to do
care
it
of
right,
them. Yeah, he knew all of the,
I'll be darned.
yeah, that I can remember.
I never knew that about him.
Yeah.
I always knew him as an insurance man.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what all I ever, that's all he ever did when I knew him, too. But he started out down I don't know whether he started in El Dorado or whether it was one of those other small towns down there, but it was down in that general vicinity where he had his shop.
I'll be darned. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 hours away from here, this is in the 20s or 10s or before the century, he started again. So, yeah. Because my dad was born in 1917. Jack was born in 1916 or 15.
15, I think.
Yeah?
I can tell you.
Oh, really? You got a scrapbook?
Yeah.
All right. That'll help. Yeah, because I'm recording all this.
She's got it all written down.
Good deal. And now you got a copy of it.
Well, where'd it go?
Uh-oh. Yeah. It's weird to think about my dad as a young man. You know, he's always been old to me.
Your blue book.
Ah.
I always knew I could go to the blue book and find when everybody was born.
Well, be darned.
Let's see, I think his birthday was in June.
June.
Huh.
Thing is, you have to know, that's anniversaries, Mom.
That'd make a difference, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just sure that Jack's birthday was in June.
You know,
Jack Galeener on the 12th. He was born in 1915.
15. I thought so. Yeah. And then Dad was 2 years, two years later. And then
What month was your dad?
January 17th, 19...
1917.
yeah.
And
1717?
Yeah.
18.
Oh, really?
Bill's birthday was the 18th of
Oh.
January.
Oh, 18.
17, 18.
That's right. Jake's birthday is January 20th.
Oh, 20.
Yeah.
And Hazel's birthday is in July. The 27th, and she was born in 19. She was 2 years younger than Bill. And then Chuck was born in October. This is just about seen better days, wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Yep.
And Chuck was born in 25. So there's quite a difference between Chuck and Hazel.
You ought to copy this book and go and do it to the computer and give it to me too, please. Because I'll use it too.
And CW's birthday He was born in 1884.
Okay.
And he died in 55.
Do you have a record of his dad? See that?
No,
SW?
I don't go back any farther than that.
I got two pictures. One picture with his wife, CW's mother, and his dad. And I don't know where it came from to me. Danny, he said, "Oh, I want a copy of this," so I gave one to him.
Yeah.
But I don't know who got the original, because it's like a copy for me. So.
Now that's not anyways near up to date, but it does go back.
It doesn't matter. I'm talking about your generation.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
But your generation is a mystery.
Yeah.
Because I've always seen you.
Yeah.
You know, when I was born, you were there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But CW, I just remember him, and there's only one thing I remember most. I was afraid of him. He scared me
Everybody
to
was.
death.
That's what
Yeah.
he wanted.
Yeah. He always came across as being very
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
stern, yes.
Yeah.
And I can remember I had you and Rick over there when they were on Crawford Street.
Mhm.
And you kids were little, because he died in 55. So you know, you were only 4 years old when he died. So you know that you were real little. And I don't know what you did, but something, and I reprimanded you for it. And he jumped all over me saying, "Oh, she's just a little kid, let her be." And I said, I told her not to do whatever it was that she was doing, and I shook my finger just right at his nose, and I said, "You raised your kids the way you wanted to, and I'll raise mine the way I want to." He never said another word. Oh, he and I used to go round and round.
Wow.
He,
What's the subject? The
Oh,
fights. What are you fighting about? Always. Usually.
nothing really in particular.
Yeah.
He always wanted the last word.
Well, yeah. I remember that.
It would be his way or else.
Or the highway.
And Esther, she used to fly back at him
Really?
a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't think Esther would be like this.
No, you wouldn't. But Esther would. After so long a period of time
Yeah,
of taking his ratting,
Yeah.
why, she'd come back at him.
Wow.
And I would too.
Wow.
I don't think Virginia ever did. I don't recall that she ever did, and I don't remember your mom ever. Of course, your mom wasn't around him all of that much.
Yeah, well, for 2 years, because, well, actually, they got married, and they all lived for just a short time, and then moved to the Girl Scout thing
the
for a year.
Triple C camp.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't ever recall that she ever come back at him. At least not back in the early days. Now maybe, I've heard your mom smart back at him
Yeah.
in later years.
Yeah.
You know, but back in the early days, no. And but he used to say that Esther and I was, he couldn't control us. We wouldn't take his shit.
You don't have when Anna Marie died in here.
Hmm?
Are you sure?
You have when she was born, but you don't know when she was died.
But
You have a lot of people's death in here, but you
Yeah.
don't have Anna Marie.
I've got her, because I have the newspaper clipping someplace of where she did die. When was she born?
1954, September 26th.
All right, she was only not quite 3 years old when she died.
okay, yeah, with a car.
She died in the summertime, in July, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
But I remember that day
Yeah. Not bad.
very vividly. We got the news over the radio.
Really?
We'd been on a picnic out to Lake Vermilion, and we were headed home in the car and had the radio on, and we got the news over the radio. And when we got home, my aunt and my grandmother were at our house,
Wow.
and because they've been trying to locate us, and so we dropped the kids off. And then we went on right down to Chuck and Jenny's house then, as soon as we dumped the kids there at the house with Grandma and my aunt. And I had to, Jenny told, they weren't home. And then we had to go on the hunt of them, but we pretty well knew where to go. We located them at one of the fellas that Chuck was pretty close to. They both were in softball. Yeah. And we went to their house, and Jenny told me what dress she wanted Ann to wear, and she says, and I think it's dirty, and she told me where it was, and I had to take it home and wash it and iron it and then take it down to the funeral. Boy, I can remember that just plain as day.
Yeah. Yeah, certain memories stick with you forever.
Yeah. You can remember just almost every detail of everything that happened.
Yeah.
It was.
My dad and mom's funeral, I just might as well be today. I can remember, even with the stroke, I remember perfectly.
Now, I can vaguely remember, of course, I don't remember Marie's. I never did get one of her card things from the funeral home.
I told Bob, and I asked him, and he's got them all.
Well, tell him again, will you?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I
will.
want one of them.
Yeah, he's got a brand new house. In fact, on one of the DVDs, you'll see it. And he's proud of his new home in the desert.
Whereabouts?
Apple Valley.
Apple Valley.
Brenda Lorraine Galeener.
Yeah.
Troy Arthur Primus?
Yeah. What's that?
The wedding invitation.
All right.
Have you talked to Cliff lately?
Yeah, I talk to him about at least a couple times a month. He's got his own church now. He moved to northern Illinois. He's about 100 miles west of Chicago. So go to Chicago and go this way 100 miles. And it's still in Illinois, not another state. And it's all farm land, and they grow corn.
Yeah. Is his mom still out at the home?
He'll die in the home. He can't take care of her. He tried. He wanted to bring her home to the new house, and he had a room for her and all that. And the doctor says, no.
Well,
Not a good, because she's too far gone. She won't remember you, and we'll take care of it.
I know, can't remember if it was last year when I was there or the year before, but they were working, doing some remodeling on the house there out in Tilton, to make a room for her down on the main floor,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she wouldn't have to climb
Yep.
stairs.
And he was gonna do that.
And then he and Patty were coming out here to see Patty's sister. And when he got back from here, then he was going to go out and bring his mom there.
Yep.
And then they were, of course, he and Patty both were still working.
Yep.
So they were going to take her every day to some kind of a care place for the day, and then they'd pick her up at night. And I thought at the time, I didn't say anything, but I thought at the time, that is not going to work. A person that in the state that she was, and if she was downstairs and they were sleeping upstairs, she could get up in the middle of the night, walk out of the house, and they would never ever hear her, know anything about it or anything. I thought that is one big mistake. You will be sorry if you do that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I never did know whether he ended up doing that or not.
Nope, he left the rest home, and he said, I'm going to visit him about 2 times a month, because it's so far now.
Well, you know,
driving, it's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
It would be. I don't think that Hazel recognized me when I went to see her.
The last conversation with Hazel, he didn't know who's Steve, but I said, you know Billy? Are you Billy? Oh, take me home, please, take me home. I'm in California, and they thought I was Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure Cliff told her who I was and tried to explain to her, but I'm positive that she had no more idea than the man in the moon who I was.
Even me. And
so I thought, I'm not even going to try to go see her, because she'd never ever, she wouldn't know the difference.
It's like Ronald Reagan. For 10 years, she didn't know who he is anymore.
He didn't know anybody, no nothing.
He was a resident of the
You
United
know,
States.
that Alzheimer's is really a terrible, terrible.
Yeah. You know, they think now to pinpoint it, it's deodorant.
I've heard
It's
that.
deodorant doing Alzheimer's.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yep.
The ingredient in deodorants.
Yeah, all the raw ingredients.
Aluminum chloride in the deodorant.
And it's deadly for people.
It won't hold together very good. But boy, has it solved a lot of mysteries.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to have a copy of it, and then you can get the computer, and then you can do it forever. The book will fade and the pages will last, but the computer make many copies and put them in different places, and there was always a copy.
Till the computer crashes.
Well, that's why I'm going, everything is in DVDs, and I gave everybody a copy, and so one of you has, maybe the only one left, but, and I'll copy it again, and it'll be
Permanent.
Yeah, so that's the thing now. Technology is so neat because you can store everything on these little discs.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do, don't scratch them. That's all.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is don't scratch them and don't lay them in the sun.
Yeah.
That'll eat it. But other than that, yeah. Wow. I enjoyed that. I think
I wish I knew what had happened with Chuck and Jenny's kids. I really do. But
Well, I know Gary and John have never gotten along, but I never knew there was really a bunch of problems with the other.
Thought so. Okay, stop it.
Well, Gary never did get along with any of them. Hazel had Gary the bigger part of the time. I would say probably that Hazel raised Gary more than Jenny did, because I don't know whether Cliff and Gary are pretty much, no, they aren't.
No, Cliff's a lot older and Gary's younger.
Cliff's a lot older than Gary, but they played together well. So Hazel had Gary an awful lot of the time. And
You know,
Gary always had a sort of a chip on his shoulder.
you know, I've only seen Gary once in the last 30 years, but I just called him, and he said, "Steve, you remember me?" He goes, "From California, yeah." So we talked for 4 hours. Yeah, it's like acquaintance time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with Cheryl, but cold fish.
Mm-hmm.
She just,
Yeah, she, one time when Jenny was out here, because she used to come out and spend, a month or so with us about every year. She'd come out.
Well, you did it for a whole year.
What you talking about, Jenny?
Oh, Jenny, yeah.
And one time Cheryl was going to be flying over to California, and we went over there and met her, and even Dan and I and Jenny and Cheryl, we went over to Catalina Island. I can remember that, and we took so many pictures. But even then, Cheryl was, well, I don't know how to explain it, but just not really warm.
Something's in the air and you don't like it.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I didn't. There for a long time, her and Mo had been just separated, I think. Then I think they actually did get a divorce. I'm not really positive whether
I don't know,
they did
she's
or
got
not.
the same name.
Well, Aunt Jenny told me they did divorce.
They did divorce?
Jenny said they did divorce.
Well,
And then why didn't she revert to her maiden name?
Because you have to go through so many legal steps to do that.
Yeah.
well, it could be.
It's just easier not to.
But you know, once John got acquainted with that girl, I don't know, can't remember now what her name was.
I don't either.
But he kind of got above everybody else.
Yeah. That's too bad too.
And I think Cheryl kind of did the same way.
And Jack did the same thing.
Huh?
That's so weird. Jack did the same thing. I mean, Joyce, we had plans to meet for dinner, and then Cook was here, and then he didn't even show up. And we had plans to go to Knott's Berry Farm and chicken dinner.
Yeah.
You know, it's close for everybody. I mean, Jack only lives about 10 minutes away from Knott's, and he didn't show up. No call, no nothing, just didn't show up. And Joyce says, it's typical.
Well, I know that after Jack and Esther both passed away, of course, when they were living in the guest house over there on Paisano, Dan pretty much took care of their finances in a way. I mean, when Jack's checks would come in, why, Dan would see that they'd get deposited, and he had a little bit of savings, not a lot, but some. And then, of course, after they moved back to Kansas there with Joyce, Jack took over, and then Joyce never saw a penny, which is wrong, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, another college band. What happens to college? That 4 years, they run their lives, the rest of their life. Everybody wants to college and finishes it, they're ruined. I mean, look at Jack. Typical example. Look at Kimmy, my daughter. He's run. She won't even talk to me anymore. And I'm his dad, you know. And strange.
Yeah.
And they say the same thing. There is no God. When you're dead, you're dead. We're going to try that same thing later on today, and I'm going to say, I've seen the Lord. He's real. You better wake up your eyes, boys. Time is short for both of us. Yeah. Oh. I forgot to call Jim. Have you got the number? Okay. Are you going to sleep? Why?
Because I'm tired.
Okay, before you go to sleep, can you call Jim, because he'll need directions. And then later, pretty soon we're going to give Rick a call, and if he feels too bad, we'll just deliver his DVD player. I hope this one works.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so, 'cause
They don't even make the model anymore. I had to upgrade it a little bit, and it's now going to be a Toshiba instead of a Daewoo. I don't like the name of Daewoo anyway. Ask China if I've ever seen it.
No, Daewoo's Korean.
Oh God, worse.
6.
I have a friend that's Korean, and I tell her because she can't.
What am I telling
Still-
Jim?
Where are you? Come over, and he needs directions how to get to this house.
where is he?
I don't know. His mother-in-law is living in Phoenix, so she stayed overnight today.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's not answering.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Hi, Jim. It's Linda. I was calling to give you directions on how to get to my mom's house. So give me a call on my cell phone, and I will
tell you how to get here. All right, bye.
Good deal. You did all you can do.
Do you see my new charm?
Lucky Charm?
Yeah, my frosted Lucky Charm is magically delicious.
Yeah.
I gotta run out to the
Don't run.
building
Fall down.
and hang up a few clothes before they get real
Uh-oh.
wrinkled.
Oh. Well, you can shut off that for a while.
Off what?
That tape recorder. Just turn it and it shuts it off. Well, how much tape is left for this one? Almost an hour. Almost an hour. Yeah, you can. You're sticking your tongue out for me? That's not a camera, it's a video camera. You can move. You know. Yeah. Wind up and throw a ball. Yeah. That's it.
I could take a nap, too.
Oh, cool.
Watch me nap. I
Oh.
can power nap.
Uh-huh. Okay, you got 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, get up. Please get up.
I'm not done power napping.
Okay.
Oh.
That's pretty good. I like camcorders. They're easy, compact. I can control it.
You can control it.
Yeah. See. Way. Okay, Linda's napping in Peggy's house, Dan and Peggy's house, and I'm shooting Peggy's house right there. New TV, everything's new. VCR and DVD and yuck. Anyway.
There's the kids' first trip to Disneyland.
Wait a minute. Where's it at?
Over there in the corner on the
Oh,
table.
okay. I have to zoom in. Anything wrong with that?
There's
Zoom
a
in.
little tag on there that tells what date it was.
It's I have to zoom in for. Okay, I did that. So that's the living room. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I got that little short.
Here, you here, try it. Just point it and it's already on. All you gotta do is, yeah. Hello. You see it? Hey, okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look
Yeah.
at this. Look at this fiasco. He's sleeping. He's sleeping.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just resting.
Uh-huh. You're always sleeping.
I'm not. You keep me out late.
Yeah, that's the way.
No, you went to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get to bed till after midnight last night because I was watching some stuff